If you want to use pearls and sequins in one gorgeous bracelet design, inspired by the opulence in the paintings of Gustav Klimt, keep watching to learn how to bead it yourself. Here we have our gorgeous bracelet, another one from the Klimt inspired jewelry series. Let's have a look at the structure of our beautiful bracelet. We bead a strap of flat herringbone in two stacks with a turn bead on the side. When we have the required length for our wrist, we start decorating it. And the embellishment is made with sequins. In this case I have used the golden star ones, and then with pearls in two sizes, and here I have used 3mm ones and 6mm pearls. As a clasp, I have used the usual lobster clasp, and it looks like this. Let's start our bracelet base. Here I am going to use 8/0 seed beads, and we start our herringbone, and I pick up 4 seed beads, 8/0s as I was saying. Go back around again. So here we have our first stack of herringbone with the tail on our left and with the thread coming out in the same direction with the tail. We pick up 2 more 8/0s, go in a circle through the previous ones. Okay, and when we have the thread coming out in the opposite direction of the tail, we pick up again 2 8/0s, and with this we have finished our second stack of herringbone. So we have 2 and 2. In this step I am going to add the closed ring that I usually use as the base for my clasp. On this closed ring we can attach any type of clasp that we want. Could be the lobster clasp, or could be also a magnetic one. So we can, this connection allows us to decide later for the type of the clasp. So let's attach the clasp. I move the thread through the second bead on the first row, out the third bead on the first row, and here is where I am going to use these two central beads. I hope you can see them. So these two beads to anchor my closed ring, just like this. And I go around the two beads and the closed ring a few times to make sure that the connection is safe and strong. At this step I can go at least once through both, so through the entire stack of two, to make sure that the clasp is secure. Okay, let's do it one more time, and then we move the thread to the side so we can start our flat herringbone strap. Okay, so here we pick up two seed beads, 8 O's, go down the next seed bead, up from bottom up through the next one, and now pick up two, go down through the one at the edge, and here we are going to use 1/11 to change the direction of the thread. So we pick up 1/11, go back up through the last seed bead that we have added, the 8/0. Now we continue our herringbone. Pick up two, go down through the next one, up through the third one. Make sure we stack the seed beads nicely, one on top of the other. Go, pick up two, go down through the last one in the row, and now 1/11 to change the direction of the thread, and we do it just like that, and we continue like this, repeating just this technique for the length we need. Depending on the clasp you are going to use, you need around 2.5 centimeters or 1 inch when you are going to use the lobster clasp. So out of your wrist circumference you are going to bead 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters less than what you need. So this is how we make our strap, which is very easy to make. Okay. Let's say that this would be the length we need. And when you get on the other side of the length you need, you can attach the other closed ring for your clasp. And for this, you just use again the same middle beads, and you go around them, connecting the closed ring in this way. And again, make sure that you go around. You can use 2 beads as well to make the connection more safe. And this is how your strap, the base of the bracelet, should look like. Now, with our base finished, we are going to start the embellishment of this base, and I am going to use clusters of 3. So it's like I start with 1, 2, 3 stars, followed by 1, 2, 3 beads, and then again 1, 2, 3 stars, 1, 2, 3 beads. When we attach the beads, we can decide what sizes and what colors we pick up, so we create a beautiful look and quite diverse from one cluster to another. So for instance, here I have decided to use 1 6mm and 2 smaller ones in the cluster. The next cluster went on with 2 6mm and the smaller one, and like this I have constantly changed the sizes to make it more visually appealing, to avoid monotony of the design. And let's start our embellishment with our first cluster. And for this we have 1 sequin and 1 stopper bead. We drop them, skip the stopper bead, go through the sequin and close around the bead from the strap in a circle. Okay, this is our first bead out of the cluster. Then we move the thread up to the next seed bead up, and here we have the second sequin of the cluster. So we pick up sequin, stopper bead, go back through the sequin and close around the seed bead from the base. Here the sequins will overlap, and this is what we want. And then we go, the thread goes horizontally to the right to the next seed bead up from the next row. Okay, and here we have the third sequin of the cluster. Skip the seed bead, go through the sequin and close around the bead. in the base. Okay, so here we have finished our first cluster, and then we move our thread to the left, the next seed bead up, and here we start adding the cluster of pearls. Let's say that we want a small pearl. This is a 4mm pearl. In my original design I have used 3mm pearls. A stopper bead, skip the stopper bead, go down the pearl and close around the seed bead in the base. Here I cover the sequins with my thumb because otherwise, trust me, the thread will catch up. Now thread to the right and go from the bottom up in the next seed bead from the next row, and all the time cover the sequins. Okay, for this one I would go with a 1/6mm pearl with the stopper bead. Drop the beads, skip the seed bead, the 11/0, and go through the pearl and close around the base bead. So, and now we have the last seed bead of the trio, and go up the next seed bead on the left. And here let's say that I want another 6mm. I could go with a small one as well. It's really up to you. So here we have the pearl, the stopper bead, and around. You need to be patient with the threads. As you see here, they really do catch. And okay, good. So try to cover with your thumb the previous work like this when you pull the thread. And when you pull the thread, do it gently. Now we have finished our cluster of 3 with pearls. Obviously is followed by cluster of 3 with sequins. Thread to the right, go from bottom up in the next seed bead from the median row, pick up the sequin, the stopper bead, drop them, go through the sequin after you skip the seed bead, and then up, around, and again gently pull the thread. The thread to the left, the next seed bead up from the next column, okay, another sequin. As you can see, the technique itself is extremely easy. You just need to be patient with the threads. and I'm here, and I'm going to cover everything as much as possible. Okay, good. I'm getting there. Just a little catch on itself here. That's done. Beautiful. And here the thread, if you can't see it, you can just lift the sequins like this. I hope you can see. So here I have the thread to the right and up the next one. Okay, sequin. And just to let you know, when you get when you decide the color of the stopper bead, you can use different colors, not only one. So you can use, in my original design, I have used both green and gold, so just to create a different look and more interest for the design. And now I anchor to the, okay, careful with the threads. And here we have finished our baby bracelet. Yeah. If we would have more strap, we'd continue with another cluster of 3 pearls, and we can actually put 2 small and 1 large. To finish off our bracelet, we obviously weave in the thread. We can use the back of it to be much easier for us. When we are sure that the threads are securely, we just cut the thread, and I'll quickly show you how to attach the clasp, the metallic clasp. So when you have finished your bracelet, here you have the jump ring and the lobster clasp. You can bring in your jewelry pliers and hold the jump ring, open it, connect it to the closed ring and with the bracelet, and now close back. And on the other side you can use another jump ring if it's the case, or even an extension if you want, an extension chain. And here you have your clasp and your finger bracelet, I would say. This is funny. I find it funny. Oh, just look at that. Finger bracelet. Okay, so here we have our finger bracelet and our wrist bracelet now that we have to separate between the 2 lengths. I hope you like this. Mr. Klimt, or Herr Klimt, has inspired us a lot. It's beautiful and precious. Thank you for watching. See you with our next tutorial. Ciao, ciao!